Here we go, guys. We have another run with Burt Krown, and he's 28 years old, firing into another season, and the only award he has yet to win is still the Calder Memorial Trophy, the Rookie of the Year, which he won back in 24-25, and we are in 2033, and that's a long time to go without any hardware. But as for his career stats, he's doing pretty good. 9 years in the league so far. 47 goals is his career high, or his season high. 738 games played, 764 points. Can Burt get more than 47 goals this year? That's what we're shooting for. Can he get 100 points, and can he get more than 47 goals? We're shooting for a 50-50. 50 goals, 50 assists. Can he get better? Let's find out, guys, as we drive in to his 10th season in the league. We will go right before trade deadline day. Finding out exactly how good Burt can start off the season, and that last month after trade deadline worth of games, what he's going to do about it. So let's check at the end of this what he looks like coming into trade deadline day and, how his points are going. Okay, coming into the trade deadline, the Leafs look like they might not make the playoffs. They've been on kind of a downward slope, but I mean, that has everything to do with trading away everything to try to get a kid that you couldn't sign. So where is the Golden Knights? The Golden Knights are at the top. Of course they are. But is Burt a part of the reason? Oh my, 61 games. Burt has 82 points. The kid could do it. He's 40 by 42 right now. 40 goals, 40 assists. Can he do the 150-50? That's what we wanted to see out of him. Maybe even can the 5'8", 223-pound, 29-year-old bring home some hardware? But 40 goals in 61 games, let's get it, Burt. Only thing we can do now is go to the end of the season and see, where they're going to make the playoffs, who they're going to play against, and how good will Burt do in the playoffs. He's had a terrific year. As a 29-year-old going into his 30s. How long will he play for? The regular season's been wrapped up. And as for Toronto, they didn't make it. Of course they didn't make it, right? Their contract troubles have reached a very peak, and they've got no picks, no contracts, no nothing. So they're just going to have to try to figure out to rebuild in the offseason. Hopefully they can, but we'll have to wait and see. And then as for the Vegas Golden Knights, they get Anaheim in the first round. So we'll sim a couple of weeks and we'll see what the playoffs shape up to look like, after that. What we'll do here is we will move our camera over here so we can see the playoff results. Right now, Vegas is 2-0 against the Ducks. Looks like Montreal is going to be Columbus, which is pretty nifty. Dallas is going to be Utah. Utah probably wishes they still had Burt on their squad, but they made trades for the better. Burt is going to be up against Nathan McKinnon and the Colorado Avalanche. See how that goes. See how that shapes up. See who wins more games. And can Burt lead that team to another series win and go deep in the playoffs? Something he's been lacking. 2-1 for Vegas over Colorado. We're going to go another week to see how that shapes up. Vegas and Dallas in the conference finals, but unfortunately for Burt, Dallas has the conference lead. Ooh, 3-1. If we sim ahead, what's that going to do? 3-2. So we know we got to come to the 28th. Can Burt take it 3-3? They do. Going to a game 7 for the Stanley Cup playoffs. Dallas takes the game 7. Unfortunate for Burt that he will not be able to go to the Stanley Cup finals again. No big hardware, right? No Buffalo Sabres win the Stanley Cup. That is nutty. Oh my God, the Buffalo Sabres win the Stanley Cup. But Burt missing out on the big hardware yet again. We'll have to see how that shapes up for him. And Toronto is in 11th for their draft pick. That's pretty cool. Wrapping up his year with 115 points. Is that going to be enough for a trophy? We're going to have to find out. 115 points, 54 goals, a new season high, career high for the kid, and 61 points, obviously putting him at that 115. As for playoff stats, Burt went 20 games, 33 points. Marner went 20 games, 35 points. So although they were the playoff leaders in the entire league, they did not get to the final round, which is unfortunate for them as they tried their best. But Nick Suzuki leads his Buffalo Sabres to a Stanley Cup. It is wild to see where everyone ends up. Individual awards, we got Rantanen, we got Robertson, we got DuPont, Rantanen, Ranger, Suzuki getting the Conn Smythe, Spencer Knight with the Vezina. Ooh, after Ottinger goes back-to-back, Knight gets it, and then Jennings goes to, ooh, Bill Masterson gets Morin from the Leafs. The Leafs do get a little bit of hardware, but are we going to see Burt get any hardware? He does. Burt gets the Ted Lindsay. What an award for the kid to grab. Most outstanding player selected by the members of the NHL Players Association. That's right. Ted Lindsay, Burt Krown. And then we got Connor Bedard and Rantanen back looping it up. But the kid gets hardware. Burt gets some hardware for the trophy case, but he's still chasing that Stanley Cup. Checking in on retirements, Mitch Marner decides to retire at 37 years old. Sam Reinhart, 38 years old, retires. Kyle Connor at 37 years old retires. Jack Eichel retires at 37. Dylan Larkin retires at 37. Konechny retires at 37. The league is losing some beauties right now. And what a career for Mitch Marner, by the way, as we had 1,396 games, 1,693 points. Just thought I'd catch up on all of the retirees. Here we go, boys. It is time to fire into the next season. We're probably going to do 4 again today. However, Matthews, being as old as he is, this might be Matthews' last season. He's 38 years old. He's costing the Leafs $21 million. Is he going to retire this year, or is he going to take them for more money? We have to wait and see. But let's get into this next year where Burt turns 30 years old. His 30-year-old season just coming off his best season yet. Let's find out how it goes. All right, here we go. As a surprise to nobody, the Golden Knights are first in their division with 78 points, 36 wins. We'll see where Burt stands in the points there. And currently the Leafs are in a wild card spot, so maybe climbing back into a competitive team. And as Burt gears up past game 63, he's got 34 goals, 50 assists for 84 points. So kind of on pace where he was last season. A little low on goals, a little higher on assists. So it looks like he's still going to get over that 100 point mark. 16 goals in 19 games. Can he do it? Can he get it? Remember that when we gear up to head to the playoffs, can Burt get 16 goals in 19 games to get another 50 goal season? And another big one, honestly, are we going to see Dallas again and see that rivalry form? Are we going to see Vegas, Dallas, Burt, Robertson? Who's going to win? Let's find out when we get to the end of the regular season. Toronto makes the playoffs. They're facing the New Jersey Devils, and Vegas is facing the San Jose Sharks. At least we get to see kind of a layout here. So let's zip through round 1. We will check the final season stats and the playoff stats after the playoffs are over and see if Burt wins any more hardware. I'd love to see him pull in a little bit more. As we see here, the Leafs are winning, losing, going into game 4. They get the win going into game 5, being up 3-1 in the series, and they win it, closing out the series. What? Yeah, there we go. Closing out the series and moving on to the second round. The San Jose Sharks eliminate the Vegas Golden Knights. That is tough scenes. We're going to go advance in a month. The Leafs are going to be facing the Columbus Blue Jackets. Can they sweep them through? We lose game 2, but we win game 1. We win game 3, and we win game 4. Going into game 5, it's a loss. Game 6 is a loss, and game 7 is a loss. Oh my God, the Leafs blow a 3-1 lead. I'd love to tell you we haven't seen that song and dance before, but we have. Vancouver versus the Columbus Blue Jackets for the Stanley Cup. And it's going to go to the Columbus Blue Jackets again. The Columbus Blue Jackets get another Stanley Cup. And we're going to have to see who is the retirees. It's getting close to seeing who retires, so let's check it out. And the list of retired players goes to Connor McDavid, retires at 38 years old. 2,168 points in 1,547 games. Unbelievable career for Connor McDavid. Rantanen retires. Pettersson retires. There goes Kirill Kaprizov. Nico Heishire retires at 36. Jake Gensel retires at 40. We are losing a ton of beauties. But you know who I'm not seeing on this list? We're not seeing Austin Matthews on this list, boys. We're not seeing Austin Matthews anywhere on this list. So maybe he's going to try to sign and stick it out for another couple of years. Boys, we all got to find out together. What is Austin Matthews going to ask for? 2 years, $4.1 million, and he does not ask for any trade clause protection. We'll give it to the kid. We'll give it to the kid. See what he's got in the future. And Burt gets 117 points for his new point high, but does not hit 50 goals. Now, while we're in here looking at this, does he get any more hardware? Ooh, look at this. Burt gets an Art Ross. He gets a heart and his second Ted Lindsay. The hardware's starting to roll in. The hardware's starting to roll in. Let's see how much he can get before he retires. Now, as for his playoff stats, 6 games, 4 points. That's not going to cut it. He's going to have to show up better when he hits his 31-year-old age because he is drifting. He's 30 years old. Time is running out to win a Stanley Cup, boys. Here we go, boys. The third season of this video, we are going to go to, again, trade deadline to see what the first chunk, or I mean the most chunk of the season will have in store for Burt. So let's wrap it up here with this year, guys. Let's see if he can win a Stanley Cup in this little section of his year, his 30-31 year, or will it just be another award-winning year, individual rewards, or can he bring home the team reward? Let's find out, and let's see in March how many points he has. As we come into the trade deadline, of course, the Golden Knights aren't the league or the division leaders anymore. The Canucks take that over, and the Maple Leafs are at the bottom, unfortunately for them, but maybe their draft pick will be good. Now, the Golden Knights have kind of fallen off a little bit as they're not the point leaders in their division. Is that an all-around thing, or is that a Burt thing? It's kind of a little bit of both. Burt had into the 80s for the last 2 years at this time, and now he's at 76 points. Is he starting to fall off a little bit as he's 31 years old? We're going to have to see how that, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. We're going to have to keep an eye on that because 34 goals, kind of on par with where he's been. 42 assists is a little lower than normal, and 76 points is definitely lower than normal. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, see where it goes from here. But he's winning a lot of individual rewards, and can he pick it up coming into the last half of the season? If his team's going to make the playoffs, it's going to be on his performance. So let's see if he can pull it around and bring his team through a good last half of the season and give them a good playoff run. Here we go, boys. Edmonton, Vegas. Toronto does not make the playoffs, so we will go ahead a little bit to see how this first round goes. We'll have to wait and see. Hope for the best. Is Vegas going to move on, and is Burt going to have a couple of more playoff rounds to get more points for his playoff, career numbers, or is it just going to be Edmonton's going to take them out? Currently, it's 3-1 for Vegas. Can they finish it out, make it 4-1? Oh, it's 3-2 Vegas over Edmonton. Is Burt going to be? Burt does seal the deal. Who is Vegas going to be playing in the second round? It's going to be the Sharks, who, if you don't remember, eliminated them last season. So can Vegas get some redemption over the Sharks? The Sharks are up by 2 right now, so this might be the end of the playoffs for Burt as it's 3-1. Oop, it's 3-2, and the Sharks are going to eliminate the Vegas Golden Knights again. So we are going to sim to the end of the playoffs. We're going to look at the stats, and that will be the end of this video, checking out the stats, getting an update on Burt's career numbers, and we will finish off by looking at the retired players, with Montreal winning the Stanley Cup. All right, didn't see that coming at all, but they won the Stanley Cup. So as we wrap up this video, we're going to see the retirees, and it's going to be Leon Draisaitl, Matthew Tkachuk, Nikolai Ehlers, Matthew Barzal, Paige Thompson, and Brock Besser are going to be the ones that highlight our retirees, but Leon Draisaitl, 2,100 points in 1,700 games. What a career that he finished out apparently in Montreal. Burt wrapped up with 42 goals, 54 assists, and 96 points. Not enough to get him any more hardware, and it seems like he's kind of tapering down. So the next video of Burt's career might be our last, and it's been a good career so far. Almost 1,000 games, over 1,000 points. He has really been putting in the work. How many more years does Burt have left? We're gonna have to find out in the next video, guys. Thank you for watching. Leave in the comment section down below if you are enjoying these, and if you want me to keep them up maybe with somebody else or a different player. Thank you guys. Till next time. Ciao, ciao.